Greetings and salutations. My name is Michael Schwahn and welcome to the channel. I have another Tarkov video for you today, and today we are going to be talking about, as well as showing a guide to how to grind up your weapon maintenance skill and whether that's actually worth it or not. So weapon maintenance is a skill that was kind of there before, but it was hidden down in all of the grayed out skills, but it was actually, we'll just call it activated and made available and something that you can actually get skill points in with the rework of gun durability that came into effect with the new wipe that started in 12.11. Now, what does weapon maintenance do and how do you get the points for it? So you get points for it by just repairing damaged guns. That's it. That's the only way to get points for it. And in terms of what it does as you get more levels in it, it does two things. The first is it reduces the amount of durability loss you get when you fire a gun up to 50% at max level. So, you're putting in good ammo, you're using suppressors, you're burning through that durability. Having a high level of weapon maintenance will mean that you're not dealing as much damage to your gun. Does that make sense? I don't know, but it's what the devs chose, and that's how it is right now, so we're just going to roll with it. The other thing it does is it reduces the amount of wear that you have on your gun when you repair it, because right now, whenever you repair anything, it'll reduce the maximum durability that whatever that item can have, whether it's a gun or armor or otherwise. And so we'll say you have a 100 durability gun, you shot it down to 80, you're going to repair it with Prapor, and Prapor's like, well, I'm going to repair it, but I fucking suck at repairing it, so it's going to lose either somewhere between 0 to 4.2 of its maximum durability when you repair it. So you repair it and he takes out 3.5. Your durability is now maxed, and it went from the 80 out of 100 that it was to 96.5 out of 96.5, and you can't ever get it above that. That maximum durability is permanently lost, much the same way when you repair armor. This reduces the amount of wear that you'll see. So at level 0, if Prapor says, oh, we could lose up to 4 durability on this, instead it'll be you can lose up to 2. Those are the only two things that it does. It does have an elite benefit, but the elite benefit is not very different from what I just talked about. If you get up to level 51 weapon maintenance, you lose 0 durability ever on your repairs. So even if you had a 100 durability gun, you shot it down to 47, you repair it with Prapor, who's the worst at repairing things, it'll still go to 100 out of 100 every time, guaranteed, no matter what. Now, first, before we talk about anything else, let's talk about how we actually get the skill points. So I went ahead and stopped my personal grind at level 50 so I could show the final grind to level 51. I'm going to show that to you right now. Okay, so the way that you want to do this, you can see right here that I have weapon maintenance level 50. I've held it at level 50 so that I'm able to show you how I'm leveling it up so quickly and how we can get it up to level 51. And we're going to do that right now, and it should only take a few minutes to get that very last level. Now, for the sake of display and sake of showing you, I'm not going to be doing this as cost efficiently as I normally have been, because I do want to get this all done as quickly as possible to show you what I've been doing. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to the flea market. And we're going to go over here to weapons, and we're just going to click on assault carbines. And what we're looking for is we're looking for all the scav guns, the shitty guns that people are selling for almost no money that then you can repair and then sell either to mechanic or fence to try and make a little bit of money back. So we have this Mallet VPO 136. It has a durability of 61 of 68. That's great. We want to purchase that one. And so we have another one here, 44 of 52. We want to purchase that one. 46 of 53. Give us that one. And let me see if I see one of the ones that is a concern for us as we're going through here. So we're going to just buy as many of them as we can. I normally only try to buy guns that are at around 10,000 rubles or less, because that means you're losing as little money as possible, or potentially even making money, depending on what the final durability of the gun is. Oftentimes, if you're able to repair a gun to 60 durability or higher, you will end up making some of your money back on it, or at least really minimizing the amount of loss that you have. For the sake of trying to make sure that we get there. Okay, so here's one thing that I do want to show you and be careful of as well. So we have this one right here, 49 of 50. Looking at this screen, looks like we might be able to repair it. It is at 49.9 of 50, which we will not be able to repair. Another thing to keep in mind when you see those, like this 63 of 64, 63.7, there's also sometimes some that will be repaired and they'll be at that like 59.8 mark, and it'll say 59.8 of 59.8, and you won't actually be able to repair it. So we're going to go through here. There's normally nothing that you can purchase that is worth purchasing in bolt actions. Assault rifles, as long as they're below 12K, especially if it's like an AK-74 or a AK-101, AK-105, something like that. Those normally sell well, even defense to where you're breaking even or profiting. Marksman rifles normally are never worth anything. Pistols, normally not. If you see them below the price of new ones, if you're just looking to get some extra repair skill for that weapon maintenance in, you can, but these very rarely are ever actually in the ballpark. The ones you want the most are assault carbines, where you're mostly going to be buying those Malfunction VPO 136s and SKSs, or SMGs, where you're going to be buying a ridiculous number of Ketters and Saiga 9s. So let's go through here and find some more that we can purchase, because we do need about 31 guns to get that last level. So that's at 51 of 52, which means that we can buy that one. 50 of 50 we don't want. Like I said, I'm not going to be trying to be super efficient with my money, because I do want to just display this. Let me look at this Papa Shop. See, here we go. 61.9 to 61.9. Someone repaired this, but this says 61 of 62. That's why you got to make sure, because if you buy this, it's not going to do anything for you. You're not going to get anything out of it. You won't be able to repair it, and you're just going to lose a bit of money when you sell it to mechanic or fence. So we're just going to go through here. I'm going to buy extras, because I actually wasn't counting on how many I've purchased. But I do want to make sure that we get through here. Normally, I wouldn't be buying these 13K ones, because it's not efficient. And it kind of defeats the purpose of trying to do this as cheaply as possible. What durability is this guy? 50, 51. 56, 57. As long as you can repair one durability point, it's normally good to go. Okay. Do we think we got 30 guns? Does that look... That should be 30 guns. All right. So then what we do, for myself personally, I've been keeping this empty space here in my stash. I'll start at the bottom, and so that I know which ones I've repaired and not have to like reopen them and stuff like that, I'll move one down. We go to repair, and it does not matter who you repair with. You do not get more points the more points that you repair. You do not get more points for repairing with skier or mechanic. You just need to repair the gun. And so what happens is, every time we do a repair, we are going to be getting 3.8 skill points. So this should go from 0.5 to 4.3, unless they changed something in the time since I was grinding this and the time that I'm recording this video. So boom, bam, we recorded one, skills, go down here, 4.3. And so you end up needing about 31 guns per skill point. And so if with 51 levels, if you're looking at, we'll just I know it doesn't take 100 skill points at lower ends, but if it's 100 skill points per level, 51 levels, we're looking at 5,100 skill points. You're looking at repairing a ridiculous number of guns, which I have. I've repaired an absolutely absurd number of guns. It is, I don't want to insure it, thank you. But luckily, I would say that I've probably lost only around maybe 3 to 4 million rubles total doing this. Obviously, it would be ideal if I didn't have to just burn through cash, especially just to grind a skill that is only going to make so much of a difference. But while we had the ability to do so, and while I had the ability to show off how to do so, I wanted to take that opportunity. We're just rolling through, repairing guns. It's great. And you will see in your notifications in the bottom right, where you see the item successfully repaired, you will see that say weapon maintenance skill level, 48 or whatever it is that you're currently grinding it to. I'm just going to repair until we hit 30, until we get those 31 repairs, which will give us that final skill point. If you can repair things to 60 or higher, it's good, because that means you'll be able to sell it to mechanic instead of fence, and you will get a little bit more money for it, just to help you minimize those losses when you're doing this repair spam to get your skill points up. I didn't say it was exciting. I said it worked. Whether the benefits of doing so are worth it, that's a whole nother question. But it does work. And it's one more small advantage. Skill weapon maintenance leveled up to 51. So, and that will give us elite weapon maintenance, which then means that there is no wear during a repair, and our guns and everything wear out significantly less, which means, so on this one, 52 of 56, even if we repair through Prapper, it should lose nothing, no matter what. So it means you can take your brand new guns, like my T5000 here, which, mind you, bolt action is not going to wear out very fast, but I can now repair it, even when it's only losing currently missing 1.1 durability, repair it, and it's back to 100, and I never have to lose full wear on my guns, so that I can use them as long as I'm able to keep them or keep alive or get them back from insurance. I'll repair the rest of these and sell them another time, but let's go ahead and keep on going with the video. Hi, welcome back. So in that video we saw I wasn't trying to be super efficient with like my purchases or anything like that. When I was grinding up to that point where you saw me right at the beginning of level 50, I'd been trying to be much more cost conscious on it because I knew that this skill wasn't something that was worth just like throwing rubles at, the way that something like, if I could throw money at grinding strength skill, you better believe that I would. By the way, buying and throwing grenades is not a good way to grind strength skill. Don't do it that way, please. So, but what I actually tried to aim for originally when I was grinding this personally to try and reduce cost, reduce loss, I would buy damaged guns that were 10,000 rubles or less, roughly. I would sometimes break that rule if I saw a gun that was going to repair over 60 durability, because I was like, oh, I could maybe break even or make money on that. And what this resulted in is a total relative loss of right around 2 million rubles, because even trying to buy those cheaper guns, I was losing around 1,500 rubles per gun. And you need about 1,500 guns to get from weapon maintenance level 0 to weapon maintenance level 51, or elite. And this ends up breaking down to costing about 375-ish rubles per skill point. Now, I am basing that on every level taking 100 points, but I do believe that at the early levels, it doesn't take 100 points to get a full skill level, but I couldn't find what those numbers were, so I just went and based it all around being 100 points for each level that you need. So if you're trying to be super efficient, as good as possible, trying to buy those cheaper guns that need repaired so you can sell them to mechanic and fence for a good price, you're still going to be looking at a total cost of 2 million rubles. And this cost grows significantly if you decided to go beyond that 10,000 ruble mark, because I did the math on a separate test for if I bought guns that were 15,000 or less, and it triples the cost. Well, triples the loss, however you want to phrase it, however you want to look at it. Instead of the skill points costing around 375 points, they were costing about like 950. So you'd be looking at a cost of like 5 million total if you did, it just kept buying guns at 5 million. I think I just said 15. Anyway, 5 million total if you bought guns that were 15k or less instead of 10k or less. Obviously, the cheaper you can buy the guns, the better off you're going to be. But now the question is it worth it? Is there any actual benefit that is meaningful to having maxed weapon durability skill? And the answer is maybe, but not really. There is a very specific niche situation that you might see a benefit of this. And we're going to break this into the two different halves of the benefit the skill provides. The first is the active wear that you get while firing a gun. At max level, it reduces that wear you get from shooting any type of bullet, no matter what your dust cover, your suppressor, whatever you have on the gun, it reduces that by 50%. And this doesn't make a large amount of difference, because durability is in a state right now where it just doesn't matter until you get a gun really damaged. If you're going to be shooting a gun, and let's say you fire, you brought in a mutant with, you're trying to be landmark with 500 rounds strapped to you, and you shoot them all, and you shot your mutant down to fucking 77 durability, 78 durability, 22 skill points, right? This is going to reduce that by half. So instead of it being at 78, you're going to be at 89 durability at the end of all of those bullets. But the reality is that from other testing that we've seen, those two durability numbers are effectively the same in terms of what they do. The durability doesn't start to matter. I can't remember if it's at 50 or 60. I want to say it's at 60. Once you get below 60, you're now in a different category of durability to where you'll see larger amounts of misfires. You'll have a more significant penalty to your accuracy. But that's such so small, and most of the time in a single raid, you're not going to get a gun's durability down below that 60 mark if you started at 100. Now, there are a couple small, like, potentially unique exceptions to this. One, if you're a very forgetful person, forget to repair your gun or something like that, it'll give you more of like a buffer zone on that. And then there's, of course, submachine guns, SMGs, things like the MP5, the MPX, the Vector, things that are spitting out a significant number of bullets. You can burn a lot of durability on those guns, especially if you have a lot of mods on them that are increasing durability burn, such as suppressors, and if you're firing high-powered bullets such as AP 6.3 or PBP, which used to be known as 7N31. If you're firing those through it, you'll burn through a lot of durability, and this might actually make a difference for you, but even then, it's super gonna just be like very narrow on whether this ever actually has any impact on your gameplay whatsoever at all. Because unfortunately, one of those two, depending on your perspective, the difference between 70 durability and 95 durability is extremely minimal. You will see a small change in the accuracy of your gun, but otherwise, in terms of like the chances of misfires, we have seen and have had proven by other people who run the test that there is zero difference between those guns in terms of what your chances of a misfire are until you get it significantly more broken. But now, the other half, which is the perfect repair, or if you're at higher levels, the, less penalty on repair. But we'll talk about the perfect repair of you have a 100 durability gun, and no matter what, it always repairs up to 100 durability. This is cool, but the problem is I don't know how often you will ever see this feel like it actually matters in the long term. Because here's the problem. One, as we just talked about with the active firing, guns don't wear out that fast, and that's one part of it. The other part is that it does let you keep guns in pristine condition, but you also have to keep the gun. And this is Tarkov. You die. And oftentimes you can insure a gun and sometimes you get it back on insurance, right? Sometimes. But oftentimes if you die, unless you had a friend there to protect your body or carry the gun out for you or throw it in the water or a bush, the gun's gone. And so most of the time you might be able to shoot a gun down to, we'll say, at best, 75 durability from 100, right? And that's if you don't repair it. You had 2 or 3 good raids where you were just emptying bullets, right? And then you die, and someone takes your gun, and then it doesn't matter that you could repair it from 75 out of 100 to 100 out of 100 because the gun's gone. It's a cool benefit, but I don't see it ever actually mattering. And the entire skill, I only really see mattering at all in that very niche circumstance that we described, talking about SMGs, or maybe if you're using something like, if you're throwing MIA APs out of a mutant instead of 7.62 BPs, or if you're like throwing like SSA AP out of like an HK instead of just using 855A1. But these are such small, unique circumstances, and even then, it's still just not going to make that big of a difference. I can't personally really recommend grinding this weapon maintenance skill unless you're like me and just wanted to, but it is there. It's not difficult. It just takes a little bit of a time. If you go into the flea market, buy those guns that are 10K or less that could be repaired after a raid, repair them all, sell them all, ready up, go for another raid. When you come back, people have ran a bunch of scavs and put those guns up on the flea market again. It's really easy to grind, and you can do it with pretty minimal loss, and whether the benefits are there is kind of up to you. But thank you for watching the video to this point. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. We do stream Escape from Tarkov every Tuesday for Tarkov Tuesday, and I hope to see you there. We also stream 3 other days a week on Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays, and we're actually streaming right now while we're recording this video. So if that sounds like something that interests you, please come and stop by. You're also welcome to carry on the conversation on Discord and Twitter, and there are links to everything that I just talked about down in the description below. Now, if you do go watch one of those other videos, or if I see you in the live stream, I don't know where I was going with that. Thank you, and enjoy.